I am 100% proudly. Me started 208. I'm starting in kakran. Baby, I'm sure I'm saying omkudru, ontimi say no. Any intro.
Adenta Kumi is in the studio. You made some very interesting allegations the other day. We're still checking it to see whether it's true. So we are checking at the Lands Commission and all that. Today, we want you to tell us, you've been looking at the SSNIT divestiture process about the hotels. What do you know?
So, good evening, Paul, and good evening to your cherished viewers. So, Paul, it has to be on record that since 2012, when the former MD for SSNIT, Ernest Thompson, was in power under the NDC regime, they've been looking for investors. Only God knows why they didn't get investors. But
no, is there a letter that says that they were looking for investors at that time?
I'll give you those documents after.
Okay.
There's a bunch of documents. Then let me just submit it to you. Then you have a look at.
So this, what is it? This is a hotel. What is this?
So there's a history from SSNIT about the document, what has been going on for a period of time.
When was this document developed? The one
this one was developed just within, let me say,
for the process,
2 months.
Okay.
And when the process started, so it's a combination of historical antecedents at what has happened at SSNIT and what's going on now. So what happens is that a new government comes in 2017. SSNIT, so then they have to constitute a new board. The board looks into things and says that we need a strategic investor, not a strategic buyer. That's the difference we need to make clear. They are not selling the SSNIT hotels outright. They are coming in with a strategic.
What's the role of this investor?
So that's a very important thing that Ghanaians must understand. One, someone who has a track record, someone who has the technical experience, and someone who can take the SSNIT hotels to a world-class standard. That has been the vision of the new board, that they are revamping the SSNIT hotels because some of the SSNIT hotels have really been suffering. And people think it's all about profit. I can tell you that I can have an asset that will be making me profit. But the most important thing about every asset is performance. The performance of the assets. Let me give you an example with an Airbnb. Let's say I've owned an Airbnb for 5 years. I don't do any maintenance. When I started, people were coming. The reviews on social media and everything was good. But people have been using the sink, the bed. Now the bed is shaking. It's making noise. The bulbs are kind of looking old. The mattress is kind of old. But yes, people will come. I'll still make money to pay maybe my the caretaker or let me say electricity bills. But the question is, what is the value of the product now? Has it increased? I'm making profits. But what's the performance? Profit against performance. So if you listen to Hon Bryan Acheampong, when allegations that some of the hotels are making profit, there's only one hotel, which is Labadi Beach, that has made 48 million in 15 years. The records are there to show. So profit against performance is not equal.
Okay, let's come back to the strategic interest, because that's what people are interested in.
Yes.
So what does SSNIT do in terms of the bidding process? What happened?
So SSNIT decided that they needed an independent transaction advisor, someone devoid of politics or anything. And they decided that, okay, this must be public for everybody to be able to tender. And the good thing that SSNIT did was that they did not just advertise on their website. I think Ghanaian Times and also this Daily Graphic. But they went further to advertise on this international platform called The Economist. Because you have a lot of business and experts reading economists all over the world. And economists, when they feature you, they'll put it on their website, their YouTube, and also on their magazine.
So while they advertise internationally and locally?
Yes. Then they get the advisor. I think that was somewhere 2022 or 2018.
Who was the advisor?
I can't tell who the advisor was.
Okay.
Yes, if I say I know who the advisor was,
it's not in the documents.
It's not. No, it's not in the document. Okay. It wasn't something that I was actually interested in.
Okay.
So SSNIT goes on to say that so moving forward, we need to send after the advisor has done all his necessary work by 2022. He says that we want to now send people who are interested in coming to become the strategic partner to come in. I've heard questions of someone saying that why didn't we float shares, which is a very important question. But you have to understand that what SSNIT is looking for is someone who has the operational expertise, one, and two, someone who's also bringing the capital. If it was just about capital, they would have floated the shares. But management of the asset to go to another level is something SSNIT is looking at. That the hotels will have a certain standard that people will be attracted to.
Let's get into the tender. Then what happened?
So the tender goes on. Then, Senior, what happens is that you have 9 people coming in. I said 9 companies coming in. Then SSNIT reduces the number to 6 after the first tendering process. That's a short list. Then it goes on again, and documentation and other things proves that it's only 3 people that can really compete for this. So I have the 3 people and the value that they bring to the table. In total, if somebody can allege that there's a conflict of interest or there's a wrong that SSNIT is, should I say, conniving with Rock City, then it should be in 2 instances where the money that, or let me say the bid that Rock City bidded for their assets is lower, of let me say far lower than the valuation by the independent advisor.
Same capital advisors, were the transaction advisors. Somebody just sent same capital.
Same capital.
Same
Okay.
capital, yeah.
So I was saying that for anything of conflict of interest to happen is when the value that SSNIT has said, I'm selling this thing for maybe 100 cedis. Then SSNIT awards the contract or the shares that they are selling out to Rock City, who is paying 40 cedis. Whilst there are other people who have bidded 60 cedis. Then you can start questioning what makes that 60 CD, what makes that 40 CD more important than the 60 CD. And I was just thinking to myself, it would have rather been more, even, I don't want to say criminal, but more practice for SSNIT not to have accepted Rock City's bid. Why do I say that? So look at the figures.
No, you tell me. What was in it?
I don't want to mention the other parties.
Yeah, don't mention, but you can say A.
Yes, A, which is Rock City, is A. The first asset was Labadi Beach Hotel. The valuation was 23.3 million. The highest bidder was 29 million, which is over the valuation. So if it tells you that Rock City overvaluated and bidded 29.4 million.
For 60% of Labadi Beach Hotel.
For 60% of Labadi Beach Hotel.
Okay.
But you know what is surprising? If you combine the other two, the B and C, if you combine what they brought, it doesn't even still reach what Rock City is saying.
So you are saying Rock City was the highest bidder?
Yes.
The 29 million, the figures you are mentioning are monies that to be invested, money to be given to SSNIT for 60%.
For 60%.
So SSNIT is collecting the money.
Yes.
And it will come into SSNIT coffers.
Yes. It will come
for the pension fund.
Yes. For the pension fund.
What then does he do with the hotel? He walks in and that's
so
what...
when he comes in, the crazy part is, if I could...
The SSNIT say that when you come in, you have to achieve this, that.
If you come in, you have another financial obligation. They call it the capital expenditure. Like as I was using the example of the Airbnb. If I come in, I have to revamp the place. So I have an agreement with you that I'll change the lights, I'll change this. And what is costing for just Labadi Beach Hotel is supposed to be 6 million. But Rock City is going to come up with 6.3.
Okay, so they pay government for Labadi Beach Hotel, they pay government 29 million.
Yes.
Government takes that and gives them 60%.
Exactly.
Beyond that, they're immediately supposed to invest $6 million to revamp the place.
Exactly.
For Labadi Beach Hotel?
Just for Labadi Beach
That
Hotel.
figure should be more for La Palm.
La Palm,
in terms of the revamping.
So in terms of revamping, it's even crazy for La Palm. The value of the assets for La Palm was 22.5 million.
Yes, it should be lower than Labadi Beach. Makes sense.
Yes, but Rock City had a bid of 21 million.
Okay.
The next person had 13 million. And the last person had 5 million. If you combine the
13
A and
plus
B,
5, it
doesn't even reach the 21 million. But what happens is that when you are done with this 21 million that is going to the pension fund, you are now coming to invest a crazy 54
La Palm.
million. Yeah, 54 million.
It will show. It adds up.
Over 600 million Ghana cedis.
So anybody who knows La Palm will know that La Palm needs huge investment.
Over 600 million.
But the
Ghana
SSNIT
cedis.
people check to see that the said Rock City have these resources.
So when it comes to transactions like this, it's your bankers who have to guarantee for you.
Oh, that yes, we are
Because
willing to back him with this.
Yes. It's not just about willing to back him with it, but that his financials, they are doing well. So it's surprising to hear an honorable member of parliament say that Rock City is not making profit. The person lied through his teeth. I'm telling you.
But if Rock City is not making profits, how will they go through this transaction?
And their bankers,
and
two
pass-
bankers. I'm telling
pass
you,
by the-
two bankers.
The
I just
local
don't want
banks?
to.
No, we
Yes,
can't
I don't
mention
want to
them.
mention
Yeah. No, you
in
can't.
the document. Two bankers are telling you that
Two banks.
Yes, two banks. Let me say two banks are telling you. I've written what they call a letter of comfort. So it tells you that even when it comes to West, they have a financial guarantor, which is a bank. And why will a bank of this stature want to lie about what somebody has and what somebody doesn't have?
Yeah.
They wouldn't do, because they know the legal implications. And especially on the government
How are
institutions.
these documents going to charge?
Well, I don't know what the Honorable Bryan Acheampong's reply to
Charge will be.
Suraj will be. I've not had opportunity to talk to him yet, but if I do, I'll ask him.
Wow.
I'll ask him.
So this is the story.
This is the story. But sir, there's a part of the story that people are not looking at. During the PNDC time, under the, let me say, this whole activity of accountability and oversight, they made some Ghanaians very bitter. Two Ghanaian businessmen, someone like J.K. Saiw took his business from him. Someone like B.A. Mensah, someone that I grew up hearing his name, I never met him, but we heard how successful he was. Well, they said Tata Brewery and Kweku Moto.
Tata Brewery was Saiw.
Was Saiw. And
B.A. Mensah was International Tobacco.
International Tobacco.
And then Apenteng Mensah was St. Louis Sugar.
And these were companies.
And Boache Mattress was Mattress Factory.
The one in Kumasi.
Yes, but it was all over. Boache Mattress was all
Yes.
over. That factory was stopped as well. It's a local manufacturing mattress factory.
Sir, when you look at it, it's the same thing going on. You have an honorable member, Okudzeto Ablakwa, lying through his teeth. And that's what's shocking. Can you imagine that? As we are sitting here, Rock City has not filed their taxes for 2023. They have up to the end of June.
Yes, I heard Bryan Acheampong say
But this man is claiming that he's seen it and what? He has the evidence, even mentioning people. I mean, it's sad. It's sad for an honorable member to lie through. Like, I'm just so disgusted by these things. Sir, but I'm telling them that when it comes to MPP, we are breaking the 8 and we are also breaking the hate. Yes. It was hatred that made them take away all these companies from BMS and jealousy, hatred. What's happening now? But we are telling them that as much as we are breaking the 8, we are also breaking the hate. That hate against businessmen, jealousy, that you are the only one that wants to have it. I mean, I had some industry players call me after the interview I had with you, and they told me that I like what you are doing, because some of us, we are interested in politics, but we have to choose between our money and serving the nation.
because if you go in to serve the nation, they will talk about your money.
Because when you go, they will try and do everything
to
destroy you.
Money that you made out of politics.
Yes. Brian started 2008. He had not even thought about politics. Came into politics 2016. Look at what they are doing to him. And it hurts me. He's still a young man. But if you look at how he's being treated because he has an asset and he's thinking, you know the surprising thing, he's coughing out his company is coughing out 61 million. Altogether. For just giving to SSNIT.
Dollars.
Yes, dollars. So that's about 800. Yes, that's about 800 million Ghana cedi. And that's just for giving to SSNIT for the 60% shares. Yes. Not even the whole thing, 60% shares. Then the crazy part is that he has to cough another $90 million
to fix them.
So a total of about 2 billion Ghana cedi.